Welcome back to the Morristown Market Report. I'm Amy Schrader with Remax Real Estate 10.
And I'm Kim Swan with Union Home Mortgage.
Our special guest today is Marcia Miller, and she is a representative for Young Living Essential Oils. Good to have you here, Marcia.
Thanks for asking.
Good deal. So, how did you get started in essential oils?
Well, I was a skeptic. And I don't like things that smell.
Okay.
So I avoid the laundry scent at Walmart. The chemical aisle, no.
Yeah.
Candles, no. So I really didn't think that I needed something that smelled in my house. What I didn't understand was that they actually have therapeutic value, that they're more than something that smells good. And if you are an essential oil user, you will even realize they don't all smell good. But that doesn't mean you don't need them or there isn't a purpose for them. A friend of mine introduced them to me, and I thought, well, she's a good friend. I'll give them a try. It's been about 10 years, and now the whole family, we're 3 generations in our house, plus the fur babies. We all use essential oils. I started out as the witch doctor to my husband, and now he comes and he says, do you have something that will help me with blah, blah, blah? And then it does. And then he says, will you refill my bottle?
So you're the miracle worker.
I try.
I
try.
So you mentioned the fur babies. So what particular oils do you use with your fur babies?
So I always research. So I have dogs. And if it's something new to me or a new ailment, I will always research that, because not all oils are safe for pets, but there are a lot of oils that are safe for pets. So we tend to have pukers at our house. Yeah. So they get digestive oils a lot. And then sometimes things for aches and pains.
Okay.
And sometimes for calming. We have a puppy.
Yeah. I need that at my house for Venus. All right. So tell us a little bit about essential oils. Like, what's the main thing that people need to understand about essential oils?
So I think that people need to understand that there's a lot of things that we're told is okay to have in our house that we should really ditch.
Okay.
And replace them with things better for us. So if we might have people unfollow us.
It's okay.
All right. They should really ditch their candles.
I've heard that, yeah.
And I'm sure as a realtor, sometimes people have smelly homes.
Oh, yeah.
And they try to mask it with aerosols and plug-ins, and those are all really bad for you too. You should pitch those. You can either diffuse essential oils to get rid of the smells, or you could make a natural spray to get rid of the smells. But essential oils are a great way to start detoxifying your home, which we really all need to do that.
Okay. So what are some of the, side effects of the toxins in our home? Why should we get rid of them is what I'm asking.
So for women, huge endocrine disruptors. So that messes with our hormones. And we don't need those any more messed up than they already are.
True story.
And then for me personally, I noticed that my allergies and my breathing was so much better when I got rid of the toxins in our homes. But they can go into our bloodstream. Some of them have cancer-causing effects.
Okay. All right. So besides selling essential oils, what else do you offer? I think you were talking a little bit ago about some classes that you have.
Absolutely. So I completely understand that when you start an essential oil journey or a toxin-free journey, it can be very overwhelming. So one of the things that I love are questions, because if I don't know the answer, I will find it out. I have a whole team of people and a large reference library. The answer's out there, and I'm going to find it. I am happy to come and do classes in people's home, and I have a lot of information online as well. When we're done, I will link some online classes that I have available in the comments.
Okay, awesome. Good deal. So, is there any charge for your classes?
No.
Those are free.
They are free.
Okay. Are they always live, or do you have like Zoom sessions that you would do online?
I would be happy to do that.
Okay. So, what do you think if somebody is getting started in essential oils? What would be your suggestion of the one that they need to try most?
Well, I have one here for us, and it is in the definite top 5 of Young Living oils. And I think it would be right up a realtor's alley.
Okay.
Would you like to learn like basic 101 essential oil?
Yeah.
All right. So it's really complicated. You open the bottle, you gently put a drop in your hand. I know, it'll come. A little bit of patience.
That's where I'm lacking.
I know. So then you're going to rub your hands together.
Okay.
And you're going to breathe it in. This is Stress Away. Probably every mortgage lady and realtor probably needs.
We need a case of this.
We need to
or,
like anoint ourselves
yeah,
in
take
this.
stock and buy stock.
And so you just breathe it in. A lot of people think it's like a tropical oasis. They're picking up the lime and the vanilla and the copaiba.
Yeah, that word.
Sure.
Too. It does smell good.
Yeah, it does.
This would be great if somebody, this would also be a great oil if somebody was trying to sell their home, because, you know, I know there's a lot of tips and tricks to selling your home, but there's a lot of great essential oils that would make a home smell good naturally.
Okay.
And you're talking about when you have that in your home, so obviously you all sell, I know, the diffusers.
Correct.
Where you put that with water.
Correct.
And then you mentioned, I think, a spray or something. How does that?
So if you wanted to make a room spray, you would just get a glass bottle. Super simple. You would put 8 to 10 drops in about a 2-ounce spray bottle. I like cheap vodka. It makes a great spray. Don't drink it. I mean, buy the good stuff if you're going to drink it. But for DIYs, cheap stuff.
Okay.
Fill it with distilled water, shake it together, and you've got a fantastic room spray.
Okay.
And
So you're not saying mix it with vodka?
a little bit of vodka.
A little bit.
A little bit of
Okay.
vodka in the
Okay.
spray. So,
I was confused there for a minute.
so you got a spray bottle,
I got a spray bottle.
a few drops of whatever essential oil you want to use, a tiny bit of cheap vodka, and fill the rest up with distilled water, and then you shake your spray bottle, and you've got your room spray. And you never have to buy those toxic room sprays again.
Okay.
Interesting.
Sounds good. So you mentioned that this was one of your top 5 to get
Yes.
started with essential oils. What are the other 4?
Lavender, peppermint, thieves, and digize.
And what?
Digize.
Okay, what does that do?
So digize is a digestion. So we've discussed some blends, and these are complete pure essential oils blended together for a purpose. Stress Away. Peppermint and lavender are a single essential oil. So they take those single essential oils and they blend them with things for a purpose.
Okay.
Thieves is an immunity blend.
I have heard of that.
Yes, it's one of our, well, we've actually had a whole line of products developed from that Thieves essential oil blend.
Okay. And then that last one you mentioned is for digestive health.
Yes.
What would it help with?
So, I am not here to diagnose or treat anybody. I leave that to the doctors.
Gotcha.
But we have personally in our household replaced some medications with our digestion blend. And I take it in the morning in a capsule. I take it internally.
Okay.
If our dog happens to not be feeling well, I will rub it on their stomach. It does not smell good enough. You would not want to diffuse that one.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. All right. So, what is the biggest benefit that you see having used essential oils for 10 years?
So I think that it is knowing there might be a healthier option, a better way of doing things medically. Almost every medication has a side effect.
Oh, yeah.
If you can find an essential oil that serves your body that way, that would be one less side effect you would have to worry about. And I think it also starts you on the journey of thinking about, what am I putting in my body? am I making that best choice, or in the air of my home, or
wherever.
yes.
Okay. All right. So if someone wanted to contact you either to buy a product, get started selling, whatever, how do they get in touch with you?
So I will list my website in the comments, and they can reach me that way.
Okay. Good enough. Do you have a Facebook page or anything, or just the website?
I do. So it is, how about I just link that
That's
on
fine.
the comments too. So that
That's fine.
I know it can be hard to find the right Facebook page. Marcia Miller's a pretty common name. So.
There you go. All right. So after the live is over, she will go in and put her website and her Facebook page in the comments for everyone. So if you are interested in using essential oils in your home, you don't know how to get started, be sure to contact Marcia. She'd love to help you out with that. All right. So anything else that you feel like you need to tell us about essential oils?
Well, we could be here for a very long time, and I know
Be like asking us about real estate.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I really appreciate you letting me come on. I think that sometimes people hear essential oils and they think, well, that's something for somebody else. They don't know how they would fit in their lifestyle. So I would love to help people figure that out.
Okay. Our last question is one that we ask everybody that comes on here. Okay.
All right.
If you could go back in time and give your 20-year-old self one piece of advice, what would that be?
Whew, my 20-year-old self was finishing up college and had just met my husband at the time. There would be a lot of things I could tell her, but I think I would tell her to start making better choices about what I eat and moving more. I was not eating well and did not eat well for many years of my life and did not move enough. And now, well, I'm a few years past that 20 years.
About 5.
Yeah, thanks. I'll come back next week too. I definitely should have ate better and moved more.
Yeah, I hear you. I keep telling myself that every day.
I still have to tell myself that.
I
But
think that's all of
Yeah,
us.
chasing a 3-year-old though, I do move more than I used to. So, all right, we are going to cover kind of like the real estate market report. So if you want to head on out, so
All
you're
right.
not having to get bored with all that info, or if you want to stick around and listen, you're more than welcome to. It doesn't matter.
I will
to
let
us
you ladies
anyway.
get at it. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you for
Thank you.
coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Kim, tell us the bad news about mortgages this week. And I
Well,
say that kind of sarcastically,
yeah.
but
Well, we're going to say good and bad. You know,
Okay.
let's talk. Of course, you know, the Fed's meeting, I guess, as we speak, and probably did a press conference at 2:30. I had heard that they may not raise anymore this time, but we'll see.
I think it's 50-50 as to what
Oh,
they're
is that
going
what-
to do
okay.
right now. Like
Okay.
some people are saying they're going to because we had to raise the debt ceiling,
Mhm.
print off more paper.
Mhm.
So therefore, that's going to increase inflation, and they felt like they may do it one more time.
Right.
And then some people are saying no, they're just going to let it play out and see what happens.
See
Happens.
what
So
happens. Yeah.
I think
Well-
that's kind of why we're seeing this stagnant rate right now,
Oh,
is
yeah.
because there's
Yeah.
so much uncertainty.
Yeah. Well, we're still, you know, we're in the 6s on 30 years, you know, I mean, mid to upper 6s, I would say, for that, you know. I had a meeting just before I came here, and, you know, you've got so many people out there that says, hey, you know, I'm going to wait till rates come down, you know. Well, if and when rates do drop, everybody's going to be
Mhm.
looking for homes. We already know there's a shortage of homes. You know, we always say date the rate, marry the house. You know, if you can go ahead and purchase a home now, if you find the home you want now, purchase it. You know, you can always refi later versus waiting to when everyone's going to come out, you know, when that rate does drop. Because I think it will, you know, I think it's just rates always cycle. So
Right.
that's kind of one thing we're being told to advise people of. Don't, and then you still get the few that say, oh, well, I think the housing prices are, you know, housing market's going to crash. Don't think that's going to happen either, right?
No, it's not. I mean, and if you listen to the media, they're always putting like the most negative spin that they can on what's going on in real estate. And people have to remember that real estate is very local. So what may be happening in one part of the country may not necessarily be true for our area. And I know that on the media, they talk about, well, the year over year, you know, average housing prices come down. Well, that's true because the first half of 2022, we still had rates at 3.5%.
Exactly.
So if you look at year over year, yes, the average housing price has come down, But if you look at month to month data, then we bottomed out in like December or January, and home prices have started going up since then. So looking at the month to month data is going to be a much better indicator than looking at year over year numbers, because you're comparing it to 2022, the first half. So I think once we go into the second half of this year and they compare year to year, you're going to see those positive gains show up. But
I also saw something on, I guess it was a Knoxville station about, builders having problems getting workers, to build houses. So there again, I don't think the inventory thing is going to clear up anytime soon.
Well, and I mean, the biggest problem with that is, like, I think we've talked about this before, when some of these new home builders come to the area pre-COVID, they were supposed to be building $225,000, $250,000 houses for people, and that's a low end. I don't even know if you can get one for $225,000, $250,000 now. Like, most of their homes are $300,000 to $325,000 or more. A lot of the jobs around here just do not pay enough money for people to be able to afford that, especially if the rate is at 6.5% to 7%. So
exactly.
As far as the real estate market goes, I pulled the numbers since June the 1st, and we've had 34 new listings that have went on, and that's in 14 days, so not a whole lot. 13 of those are already under contract, if that tells you anything. Okay, the average list price on the new listings was $324,109. The median list price was $296,800. So we've had some higher priced homes that have went on the market since June 1st. But I kind of wanted to do a breakdown by price range, just so people kind of get an idea of where prices are at right now in Hamlin County. In the under $150,000 bracket, we've got 4 homes that are active on the market, and we have 8 that are under contract. So that means that we don't even have 1 month of inventory in that particular price bracket. Now, you have to understand, if you're buying a home less than $150,000 right now, it's probably not going to qualify for government financing. It's probably going to be a fixer-upper. I hate that for first-time home buyers, but that's just kind of where the reality of where we're at right now. If we go to the $150,000 to $200,000 mark, we only have 2 active homes on the market in Hamlin County, and we have 12 that are under contract. So that is like a very hot price range. If something comes on the market in that price range, it's going to sell quickly if it's priced properly and prepared properly. From 200 to 250, we've only got 5 active homes, and we have 18 under contract. So 150 to 250 is the sweet spot right now. From 250 to 300, we have 25 active listings and 26 under contract. From 300 to 400,000, we have 39 active listings and 24 that are under contract. So for Hamlin County, if you've not been following real estate until the past, year, 2, 3 years, used to 300 to 400,000 was almost a luxury in Morristown. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd have the country club, you'd have Windsor Place, very few places that would demand that kind of money. To have 39 on the market now just blows my mind, and 24 are under contract. From the $400,000 to $500,000 price range, we have 10 active, 5 under contract. From $500,000 to $750,000, we have 13 active and 8 under contract. And if we go above $750,000, we have 6 actives but none pending. So luxury in Hamlin County has now kind of moved up to like the 750 mark. So if you're in that price range, you're probably not going to sell really quickly, but there is still a market. We just don't have any pending at this current time as of today. But from 500 to 750 to have 8 under contract, that's pretty strong too for Morristown. So
definitely,
it seems like it just keeps going up. And we were talking about, people are talking about the housing crash is going to happen, and it's not. If that's what you're waiting on, you're not going to see that. Yeah. These numbers right here just tell you that the demand's out there. There's not enough supply. So that's simple economics. If you have more demand than you have supply, you're not going to have a crash in pricing.
No.
So, and you and I have talked before about if rates do come down, not only is it going to bring more buyers out, but some of these sellers who have been sitting on the sideline will list their home, but then they're going to also be buying as well. So it's kind of a catch-22 right now.
I think if there's a home there that you like, I mean, you know, like I said, I think, you know, you can afford the payment, then now's the time, you know.
Yeah, and I would definitely say if you're comfortable with the payment.
Right.
Because I know, you know, people have a certain lifestyle that they're used to living. And it sounds really good to say, well, I'm not going to do this. You know, you don't ever end up doing that. You don't want to put yourself in a strain to buy a house. Because the last thing you want to do is buy a house and then be house rich and money poor.
Right.
So, all right. Well, we will be back next week. Hopefully, we'll know exactly what the Fed decided to do, and we'll know if rates are going to react positively or negatively to that.
I know.
So, be back with us next Wednesday. I'm Amy Schrader with RE/MAX Real Estate 10.
And I'm Kim Swan with Union Home Mortgage.